Hey everybody, it's Christine. It is December 9th, and I just wanted to say hi to everybody, and I wanted to also talk about an email that I received today. I received an email, and I'm going to leave the name anonymous due to privacy issues, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Hey, what's up? My name is," we'll just say blank. "And I don't know where you met this guy at, but you messed up his family. Thank you." She didn't write messed up. She put, the F word. But young viewers, I don't want to swear. Now, first of all, this was in response to my YouTube channel. And, you guys have my email. You know how to get in touch with me. And, of course, I'm going to message you back. And, like I've said in every single one of my videos, pretty much, I do have a boyfriend. So, getting emails from jealous women that obviously have some insecurity issues, it makes me laugh, first of all, because I'm not out here looking for a guy or looking to be anybody's mistress or anything like that. So her telling me that I messed up his family, it's kind of funny. I don't exactly know how. This particular subscriber does email me a lot. He asks me how's my days going, and, he, just very friendly conversation. Nothing, out of the ordinary, nothing leading to anything, nothing about cheating on his girlfriend. I mean, I didn't even know he had one, but nor do I care if he has one or not, because I'm not out here trying to find out about other people's lives and what they're doing. I'm out here just trying to explain, my experiences and what I've been going through, and, to share them with you guys, to maybe if you decide to do the surgery or you're just curious about it, just to give you some insight on how things are. So I'm not actually out here trying to find somebody to hook up with, or anything like that. So for her to come at me like that without even asking, anything about me, and just to assume I'm trying to break up a family is just kind of crazy for me. It's not what I'm about. So I just found that email very, very funny, and just, completely, honestly, it took me by surprise, completely out of the blue. Really wasn't expecting that. I did, however, message him back because the email that it was sent from was his name, but it wasn't the email that he usually sends it to me from. So I should have known better than to even answer it. But like I said, it was nothing bad. I just said, "Hey, how's your day going?" Back to the response, and that's when I got led into about I messed up a family. Again, I don't know how, but insecurity issues, not my problem. With that said, that was, my email of the day that I thought would be quite interesting to share. I went to my doctor's today. Everything went really well. She weighed me in, and she asked me what my goal weight was going to be since I've lost, so much weight. And I told her, at this point I think that I would be happy with being about 150 pounds, where I have, the skin issues that I explained to you guys before. And then I also, mentioned the breast implants, and she advised me to at least wait a year before doing that. Which, pretty much, I mean, I know that I have to wait a year. I'm just kind of, for me, I'm more of the type of person that, wants things now, and I don't want to wait, but I know the reasons why I do have to wait. So she had explained to me that, where I had actually on my left breast, I last year had a lump, which they biopsied, which ended up being nothing, thank God. It was a hyalinized fibroadenoma, which they did the biopsy, and they put a titanium chip in it, just to mark it, so if I ever have a mammogram or any type of issues, that they know that that one's already taken care of and not to go in and biopsy it again. So I went in today, in the appointment, and I asked her, I've noticed it felt like it got bigger. And she said, "No, it didn't get bigger. What happened is when I lost so much weight, in my, my chest has shrunk, that, touching it, it felt like it was bigger, but in reality, it's just still the same size." She did, however, tell me that in order to have the breast implants, that I would have to have that removed. So, kind of makes me nervous, but yeah, I'm going to actually have to do that. And then I'm going to wait to my 1 year out. I know I've been saying that I'm 7 months out, but I'm actually 8 months out. I obviously can't do math. I had my surgery March 21st, and it is December 9th. So I'm a little over 8 months and I think a week. So that was something that I found interesting, because I never even thought about having that tumor removed in order to do the breast implants, but it makes sense to have that out. Also, she had discussed the possibility, of pregnancy. And she asked me, do you use birth control, this and that? And I said, I'm not on the birth control, but I do use condoms. And she said, well, I would advise you to always use condoms. And I said, yeah, I do. And she was just explaining to me the risks of getting pregnant and what damage it can do to your body and to a baby. I don't know if I've discussed that before in a video, but they want you to wait at least 2 years before you try to conceive. Reason being is with your stomach being like that little, and you're not getting in enough nutrients for yourself as it is, in order for you to be healthy and for your baby to be healthy, then you need to be able to get in enough nutrients to be able to, 1, care for yourself, 2, care for the baby. And right now, with this whole weight loss and eating portions and all that stuff, it's kind of hard. So that would be very, very dangerous to you and the unborn baby. So that's why they tell you that you have to wait at least 2 years. In fact, in one of the meetings that I had to go to in the beginning of doing the surgery, they made us sign a paper stating that, we know the risks of, what would happen if we did get pregnant, and that, it could basically potentially harm me or the unborn baby. So, where I don't have any kids right now, I really want to get working on that baby thing as soon as I'm out for my 2 years, if my boyfriend lets me. Can't wait. It's actually something I'm quite looking forward to. The only thing that makes me nervous is, everyone has asked me, okay, Christine, you've lost the weight, and getting pregnant might ruin your body. To me, at 32, I feel that I lived most of my life as being heavy, and if, by chance that I do get pregnant and I do have a baby and everything works out really well and my body is, ruined, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as just that, because you brought something into this world that's just amazing. Before, with being heavy and overweight, I did get pregnant once and I miscarried, and my doctor said more than likely the reason for that was because of all the weight loss, the weight that was on my body. So when you lose weight and you have the surgery, it increases your fertility by I think it's 70%, something like that. Your chances of being able to hold on to a normal pregnancy like most people can. Excuse me, I just swallowed my mint. So that's something too to think about. And another thing I wanted to talk about too was clothes. My girlfriend came over the other day, and we did a little clothing swap, which is really cool having somebody that's gone through the surgery with you. She, like I said before, she's had her surgery a year before me. She had hers last June 21st of 2000 and would it be 9? Not sure. 2009, 2010, one or the other. But she had it before me. And she went from a size 18, 20 to now she is a size 3. She's tiny. So I went shopping. I have found that where you drop clothes sizes so quickly, the best place to buy your clothes, believe it or not, is at consignment stores. You can buy brand new clothes at consignment stores sometimes, and then sometimes they have gently used clothes. I mean, I've hit them pretty well. I mean, I've gotten, some Armani, I've gotten some Burberry, I've gotten some Juicy Couture. I've gotten some really nice clothes. And for me, because when you drop in the weight, it's just crazy to go out and buy, a pair of pants for $50 that you might only be in for a month. So I went to the consignment store down the street from my house, which I absolutely love. And I went in there, and they had this huge special, which was called $10 Fill-A-Bag. And what that is they give you a bag like this big, and whatever you can fit in the bag, you have for $10. So whatever, on the racks in that special area, you just go through the clothes. And I mean, I literally went through children's clothes, infants' clothes, women's clothes, everything. And I put whatever I could fit in the bag, because I have nieces, nephews, whatever. And I got some really great things, but for her, I got 2 pairs of pants a size 3, a skirt a size 3, and 2 of them are from Hollister. And then I also got myself some jeans that were size 10, and I'm going, okay, you know what, might as well grab them now, because right now, I'm between a 9 and a 13, it depends on how the pants are made, but more or less stretchy was a 9 and 13. So I got home and I tried the pants on that were size 10 and they're jeans, and they fit. I was so super excited. I was like, yes, a size 10. I can't even tell you, like, the last time I've actually, yeah, I can tell you. I was like 15 the last time I was a size 10. So to me, to fit my ass in a size 10 pants was like super awesome. So I called her and I said, listen, I said, Ness, I got some clothes for you. You know, why don't you come over? So she came over. She brought me some even more clothes that she had from when she had the surgery. So she brought me over like 4 or 5 pairs of jeans, you know, size 11 to like a size 8. So it's really neat having somebody to share this experience with, and, you know, share clothes. And then, like I said to her, you know, she'll tell me, you know, don't sell the clothes on eBay. You know, I need this back. And I'll be like, okay. And then I always tell her, hey, you can take the smaller sizes, and then when I need to get into them, you can give them back. So it's just been really cool. Also, another thing I did since the last time I made a video was one of my cousins is really interested in a surgery. So I took her to, I actually talked to her about going to one of the seminars to find out some more about it, and she went. Well, we both went together. She registered, we went together, and I was wicked excited when I seen that it was my surgeon that did my surgery doing the seminar, because I could, you know, explain to her, you know, that's who I had, this is who I want you to go to, she's amazing. So that was really neat seeing that, and she got so excited when she, like, seen, like, you know, the pictures of people with their weight loss and stuff. And then after the seminar was done, my surgeon came up to me and she said, you look gorgeous, you look great, and that felt really good. She's like, you're doing very well. One thing I will say that, you know, with this surgery, you have to be really careful. You really have to be careful of what you eat, because it is so easy to just eat things that go down easy, because sometimes food don't agree with you, and then you reach for something that you know is going to go down, it's going to give you some food, but sometimes it's not always the right choice. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I know that I have talked about in my video before, the Pringles, like, sticks, you know, the ones that came out in a little pack and I was showing you. Reason being is this: I have been eating like 2 packs of those a day because they're easy to eat, they're fun to eat, they taste good. And I just kept getting dizzy all the time, so I would eat them, you know, I felt kind of better, you know, I was getting lightheaded, dizziness, you know, that's part of the dumping syndrome. So I brought it up to my nutritionist the other day when I went, and she said, well, what are you eating? And I told her, and she said, Christine, not a good idea. She's like, 1 a day, have 1 pack a day. She said the reason for that is when your stomach, again, is like this big. They actually call it a pouch. They don't want you to call it a stomach. They call it a tool. It's a little tool. It's a pouch. They tell you to care for it like a newborn baby, blah, blah, whatever. Anyhow, she said when your little pouch is this big and you're eating the carbs sit there. Even if it's a cracker or rice or pasta, she said it sits there, and what happens is your body absorbs the carbs, which carbs, everybody knows carbs turns to sugar, sugar turns to fat. Well, your body is in sugar overload, especially with having 2 packs, so can't do that anymore. I have to stick to 1 pack. So she said that's in turn why I'm getting dizzy. I feel like, you know, jittery, and it's because I had too many carbs. So again, great snack if you have 1. Don't have 2, because you'll be very sorry. That was interesting. But, like, you know, I'm still new at this, so I'm still, you know, learning things every day about, you know, the surgery and how it affects my body and how it affects me. Now, one thing, one of the subscribers had asked me the other day. She messaged me and she said, what happens if you gain your weight back? Can you do the surgery again? I was told by my surgeon that she did do the surgery on a couple of people more than once, but it was for different reasons. I didn't ask her if it was because of somebody gaining their weight back. I think it was because something went wrong somewhere, where maybe the stomach wasn't, you know, healed properly, or maybe it was a band patient that went from being a band and didn't like the band and then had the gastric bypass. I wasn't really listening too well. Sometimes I do that. I'm kind of like a little bit of a space cadet sometimes. But I don't actually know if you can have the gastric bypass twice because you overate and stretched your stomach. I would think that an insurance company wouldn't want to pay for a $30,000 surgery more than once. But I could be wrong. One thing that they did go over in the seminar, which I didn't realize before, was, I just, like I said, I don't always pay attention. And what they said was health insurance companies are pushing more now to do the surgery for the simple fact that it saves them lots of money, lots of time, and it like helps the budgets with like hospitals and all that. Because if they cure you of your like morbid obesity because you're going from a BMI of like 44, and then now you're down to like a 25, they're saving in the long term because they don't have to, pay for a knee replacement, a hip replacement, a bad back, or diabetes, or sleep apnea, all these things, that can happen because of having all the extra weight on you. So they would rather, pay for the surgery now for 30 grand and save it now, and then instead of waiting like 10 years down the line and you have all these health problems. My surgeon just had told us that the oldest patient that she just did was 73. 73 years old having the gastric bypass. I think that's amazing. And also, if you have the gastric bypass and you have diabetes, it cures diabetes. You will no longer need insulin. That's another thing to look at too. And she told us that having the gastric bypass puts an extra 5 years on your life alone just because of health reasons. So those were pretty interesting facts that I learned about when I went into the meeting. And I'm trying to think what else she talked about. Oh, she actually had a woman up there was asking about hungry head. And if you don't know what hungry head is, I'm going to explain it to you. It's like people say, you have the gastric bypass. Are you hungry? Do you think about food all the time? Me, in the beginning, no. I didn't think about food all the time. I'd actually have to remind myself to eat. But some people after the surgery, like months afterwards, they always feel like they're hungry. And what she was explaining is most people go by hunger by like their body feelings. A lot of heavier people go by hunger feelings by their head. And that's why it's called hungry head. Your head, is telling you that you're hungry, and you're listening to it because you're constantly thinking of it. You might be watching TV and a commercial comes on and it's, Papagenos or Papa John's or Red Lobster. And you're sitting there and you're watching that commercial and you're like, ooh, I wish I could have that lobster. I wish that steak looks wicked good. And you start thinking of these things and you're sitting there, and now all of a sudden you find yourself in your kitchen, in your cabinet, you're eating crackers, you're eating chips because you have hungry head. Because your brain just told you that you're hungry because you've seen something and now you're thinking of it. In actuality, you're not hungry. So you really have to work on that part of it, and that's why they have like a team of like doctors, nurses, nutritionists, and they actually have psychologists too, because they want you to work on not only like your stomach and everything like within and your whole body manner, but they also want you to work on what's in here, because if your head is always telling you that you're hungry and you're listening to what's going on up here instead of what's going on in here in your stomach where you should be listening to, you're not going to lose that weight and you're not going to keep it off, because you're constantly going to be in the cabinet and you're going to be eating. And that is not good, to have to go through all that surgery and just be in there eating because your head is telling you you're hungry. So that was a really cool factor that she talked about. But that's pretty much it for the night. So I just wanted to say thank you and all of you for watching. And if you have any questions, you can email me, c.rader978@yahoo.com. You all have a great night. Good night. Yep, didn't hit the button. That's awesome. I told you. Stupid, huh? I'm over here waiting for it to shut off and it didn't shut off. Okay, really going. Good night.